What worries Central Asians most about the Iranian crisis? Not ideology, not regime change, not even the confrontation between Washington, Moscow, and Tehran. Their greatest concern is stability. This is the central lesson of the assessment published by the Jerusalem Strategic Tribune and based on conversations conducted by Ambassador Tatiana C Gfoeller with around 30 Central Asian observers, including academics, religious figures, NGO activists, government employees, and dissidents. Central Asia lives in a difficult neighborhood. Russia and China dominate its strategic horizon. Turkey, Pakistan, and Afghanistan are never far away. In such a region, instability is not an abstract concept. It is a direct threat. Iran had long served a practical role for several Central Asian countries. It offered agricultural goods, trade routes, and access to the sea. The crisis has disrupted that function. Some interlocutors regret the loss of Iranian products, especially quality dairy goods, and the easier connection to Turkish trade. Yet the crisis also creates opportunities. Higher energy prices benefit producers such as Kazakhstan. But even this advantage is accompanied by fear. Some Kazakh observers worry that energy sites linked to American interests could become targets. Others fear attacks on pipelines used to export Kazakh oil. These fears may appear exaggerated to American analysts, but in Central Asia, they are real because the region has learned to see every geopolitical shock as a possible domestic threat. The crisis is also reviving interest in land corridors linking China to Europe. The Middle Corridor, running through Kazakhstan, the Caspian Sea, Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Turkey, is gaining strategic value as maritime routes and choke points appear more vulnerable. For some Central Asians, this is a historic opportunity. Their region could finally be recognized as a major land bridge between East and West. For others, it is a dangerous shift. Such routes could strengthen China, reduce Russia's role, and limit American influence. Central Asian states have long tried to balance between major powers. If that balance disappears, they may find themselves more exposed to China. But the deeper fear is not economic. It is political and human. If the Iranian regime collapses without an immediate replacement, Central Asians fear massive refugee flows. Several observers admit that their governments are not ready, either institutionally or mentally, to manage such a crisis. They believe many refugees would eventually be pushed toward Western Europe, probably through Turkey. An even greater fear is fragmentation. Iran is a multi-ethnic state. So are many Central Asian countries. If Iran breaks apart along ethnic lines, observers fear the shock could spread across the region. The nightmare is not only civil conflict inside Iran, it is contagion, borders weakened, identities politicized, and fragile states pulled into wider disorder. This explains why many Central Asians are less concerned with the nature of the Iranian regime than with the continuity of the Iranian state. For them, the priority is not democracy or authoritarianism, it is order. Religious questions, including Sunni-Shia divisions, appear secondary. Human rights concerns are also not central for most interlocutors. Their view is practical rather than ideological. They want the crisis to end quickly. They want neutrality preserved. And they do not want regime change unless it is immediate, controlled, and free of chaos. For Central Asia, the Iranian crisis is therefore not only about Iran. It is about the fear that one collapsing state could shake an entire region. Stability, more than anything else, is the word that defines their anxiety.